Kurzgesagt have some of the best educational animations ever. And if you've spent any time on YouTube, you have likely seen one of their videos. Now, you might not believe this, but one of their videos can take over 1,200 hours to create. However, what if I told you that I actually managed to recreate one of their entire animation sequences all just by using AI? So in this video, I'll show you exactly how to create videos like Kurzgesagt. And by watching this video till the end, you're also going to learn how to apply this skill set to replicate any channel that you want on YouTube. And so in this video, I'm going to show you multiple different processes. I'm not just going to show you how to create the images. We're going to go over ideas, scripts, image styles, visual prompts, voiceovers, image generation, and finally, we're going to animate everything together in order to create these videos. And so we have quite a lot to cover in this video, but firstly, we have to go over ideas. And in order to do this, I'm just going to use Claude. And all I'm going to do is send this prompt. Give me 50 educational video ideas in Kurzgesagt's style. So I'll open up Claude, use Opus 4.6 and send it off. And while that's generating, I want to show you the results one more time because these honestly came out so much better than I could have imagined. I mean, these are all results that took me literally 5 minutes to create, and they created such nice animations, fully done by AI. This is honestly such a good skill worth having in 2026, no matter your career professional, and you can also learn this as a complete beginner. And okay, as you can see, we have our 50 educational ideas. So some examples are, what if the moon suddenly vanished tonight? Why can't we grow new teeth? Some animals can. AI doesn't think, here's what it actually does. What happens inside of a nuclear explosion? And I mean, we have 50 other ideas basically that we can generate in a matter of seconds. So that's how you get the idea for one of these videos. Next, we are going to need to create a script for the voiceover. Now look, I could show you like the lazy way to do this, just going into Claude, telling it to create a Kurzgesagt idea script using this topic. But if you're subscribed to this channel, which by the way, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. 95% of you guys are not subscribed. And if you subscribe, you're going to get more videos like this in your For You page. So make sure you subscribe down below. But with that being said, I went ahead and got the transcript of 5 different Kurzgesagt videos in order to essentially fine-tune the model on the actual script writing process so that it can pick up on certain trends, tactics used by the script writers at Kurzgesagt so that we can create the best possible script. If you want to do this yourself, all you have to do is scroll down a little bit, open up the description, click here on show transcript, and then copy the transcript. You're going to have vidIQ installed, which you can use completely for free. This isn't sponsored, by the way. I did used to work with these guys, but they honestly just have a really good tool. That's why I'm recommending it. So once you have it, you can simply go up here, copy the transcript, and then you can paste it into Google Doc. By the way, if you want these transcripts, I mean, you can do it yourself, or I'm going to leave these, and I'm going to leave every single prompt below the video, so just click on the link below. But once you have the transcripts, I recommend getting a couple just so that I can actually pick up on the patterns. The next thing we want to do is we want to send off this prompt along with the transcripts into any AI model of your choice. I recommend Opus 4.6 because it has personally the best copywriting. And so for context, this prompt just basically tells it about the transcripts, and then we're asking for the exact structure so that I can paste it into any AI model and it will give me an 8 to 12 minute story in the same style. So again, we're not generating the script right now. We are generating a format, a repeatable pattern that we can use for every single video moving forward. So all I went ahead and done is paste this prompt into Claude and pasted the doc, which is this thing you see here, basically 5 different transcripts from YouTube videos from Kurzgesagt, and we're going to send it off. And so this was the result. It's quite long, so I'm not going to go through all of it, but let me just break it down really quick. So at the very start, we have a very basic prompt engineering technique, which is giving some sort of a role to the AI, then giving it a task. And then further down, we have more context on what the actual script itself should be like. So we have the target length, structure, curiosity hook, we have a central question, and we also have timestamps to each one of these points so that it has some sort of a reference to go off. Then we have more context and setup, explanation of the journey. And since we gave it 5 different transcripts, it has a lot of analogies and a lot of examples, as you can see, for every single one of these processes. So look, I'm going to just scroll through if you want to just watch the video, copy it and paste it in yourself. But again, if you want the whole entire thing, then I'm just going to leave it linked below the video for you to be able to just simply copy and paste it into your own workflow. But anyway, the important part that you need to understand, I mean, all these topics are cool and all, but down the bottom, we have topic. This is the only thing that we need to actually customize in this prompt. And so I'll show you the actual generation process in a minute, but this is just the first part of the format that we need. The second part is going to be the image style. So the first thing I've done is I took a few screenshots from Kurzgesagt's videos from many different scenes so that it will understand the style better, as you can see. And then once again, you can use ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Qwen, Kimi, doesn't matter. Just paste this prompt in along with the screenshots and then simply send it off. And so inside of the prompt, let me just read it real quick. We are giving context about the screenshots, and then we're telling it to define the animation style, and we simply want it to give us a prompt based on the idea that will allow me to generate AI images in the exact same style. This should be universal for every type of image idea. So again, these are super simple prompts, very short sentences in very simple English that you can paste, and then you can get this in return, which is a much more advanced much more sophisticated and just better overall prompt engineered prompt. And so once again, this is the result. You can read it if you want. And again, it's going to be linked below. And so once we have the image style and we have the script format, we now move on to creating the visual prompts. And so I tried to illustrate this in the easiest way possible. Basically, we have the style reference, which is this thing that we have over here, the image style, that will not change. Then we have the script prompt with your idea, which once again, it's this entire section down here with inserting your topic down the very bottom. And then we have a new prompt, which once again, as always, just link down below, which you can see on screen right here. And so the idea that I will go with is how many bones are in the human body. Super straightforward. And so let's craft this prompt. So once again, we can go back here and copy this entire thing. Then I'm going to go back into Claude and I'm just going to make a new chat just so that we have fresh context. Paste that entire thing in. Then I'm going to get the image style reference. So copy that once again. I'm going to wrap it in XML tags. Image style. This just helps the AI model understand and break down the prompt better. And then I'm just going to copy this new prompt that I have over here and I'm going to paste that down the bottom. Now, one thing I forgot to do is change the topic down the very bottom. So make sure you actually change this because this is very important. So I'm just going to change this and then I'm going to send off this prompt. And once it generates, it's going to look something like this. We're going to get a result with a bunch of different visual directions and a bunch of different little scripts. Obviously, we can customize this to our own liking if we want, change some small stuff around. But in general, this is going to be 80, if not 90% done. Because there has been a lot of time put into actually creating this prompt. This isn't just an AI generated prompt. There has been lots of tweaks, lots of optimization and fine tuning of these prompts to make them as good as possible so that you can literally just copy and paste them. So again, AI models are not deterministic, meaning they're not going to give you the same result every time. They might not even give you the same exact format every time. So this might look slightly different. But in general, what we have here is the topic up the very top, the timestamp, the script, and then the visual direction for the script. So now if you can connect the dots, basically we're going to use this in order to create the AI voiceover, and we're going to use this in order to create the AI images. Now the AI voiceover, which is the next section, is done on 11 Labs, mainly because this is the best company for AI voice at the moment. And it is super straightforward. I'm not going to go too deep into this because I'm sure you already know how to create voices with 11 Labs. But for those that don't know, all you got to do is sign into 11 Labs, link down below. Again, not sponsored, obviously. Then on the left, you can click on text to speech. And then here, I'm going to basically add the first section, which is your body contains 206 bones, blah, blah, blah. Paste that into here. Now up here, I actually have my own voice because in one of my recent videos, I actually went ahead and showed you how to recreate yourself as a clone and recreate your voice. So look, if you are subscribed, you would have seen this. But regardless, on the right over here, I'll just move my camera. You basically have a bunch of different settings, speed, stability. I'm sure you understand what this all means. So change it to your likings, pick the voice you like. And then to the left of my camera, we can just click on generate speech, send that off, and then you have your voiceover. It's as easy as that. You can do this completely for free if you want. And so over here, I have the entire script, as you can see. So what we need to do next is cut this up into the different visual segments because we have the entire script here. Now I need to know how long each section is so that I can direct the animations later in the video to match the same length as the voiceover, because that's the part that nobody talks about. So I cut it down. I also trimmed it down a little bit because I thought it was a little bit long, and it looks something like this with some cuts in between here. So I know this is one animation, this is another, etc. Here's a better visual for this. So for example, this script might be these two cuts, this script might be this cut, and this script might be this cut. I colored them over here just so that you can see it visually better. But once you have the script laid out and labeled, the next thing we need to do is create the AI images. So I like to use Nanobanana 2 for this because it's very good at reasoning. It has consistency. It's very good at editing the images. You can use style references and it's good for many different styles. So which website do I use? Google AI Studio, Gemini, Higgsfield, FreePick. I mean, I made videos on pretty much all of these. So which one should you use? It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to use Higgsfield simply because they had a really good deal at the moment and I had a bunch of credits, but it doesn't matter. You just need to use Nanobanana 2 Pro in my opinion. I would probably lean towards Google AI Studio instead of Gemini. So I guess I'll remove Gemini from here because it has watermarks, which we don't want. And so this is going to be the same process that applies as we've done previously. We basically take what we have here, copy it over and paste it as the visual reference. Now, again, I'm going to leave a link for every single tool that I am using, and they are going to be affiliate links, meaning if you do click on them, you're going to save yourself money and you're going to support me by using the affiliate link. It's a win-win, I guess. And so inside of Higgsfield, I'm going to go up here to image, create image, and down here we have basically the prompt box. All we need to do is change auto to Nanobanana 2. We're going to change the aspect ratio to 16:9, meaning it's a horizontal video. We're going to keep it at 1K quality and we're going to keep the batch size at 1. And then we're going to just go back to the result we had over here, copy the visual direction down here, which was basically the first animation, and simply paste that into Higgsfield. Click on generate, and then we see it loading over here. And so to save you time, I'm basically going to just show you the results I got for every single one of these. So for the first one, you can read the prompt if you want. I got this result of the blob next to the skeleton. For the second one, it was this baby blob. Then for this one, we had the baby blob, but as you've seen, I transformed one word in the prompt and it turned into this nicer blob instead. And the reason I basically turned it into this blob was for consistency, because if we're continuing with a blob like this, we don't want to just change it into a baby all of a sudden. So that's why Nano Banana 2 is so good, is because of the image consistency. Anyway, for the second last prompt, we had this one, which is the blob with a bunch of question marks and bones. And then for the last one, we have these bones next to a solidified bone. Again, this was super straightforward and really easy to do. All you do is just copy the prompt and paste it into Higgsfield. Now, for possibly the most important section of the video, it's the animations. I can't stress enough how many people create good AI images, create a good voiceover, they create the script, the idea, whatever, but then they fail on the animations because of a few key steps, which I'm about to show you. Firstly, which video model? Well, I recommend VO 3.1 Fast. It has very good prompt understanding, very good motion quality, a bunch of different styles, very consistent, and it's faster than VO 3.1, because when you're generating these videos, it's such a pain to just sit there and wait and wait and wait and basically ruin your flow state, because you are trying to generate this video and all you're doing is waiting. It pisses me off, so that's why I'm using Fast, and it's also really good. And so again, going back into Higgsfield, this time I'm going to go up to video and then create video, and I'm going to zoom in a bit and let me show you what's actually important in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to model, click on model, type in VO 3.1 Fast with the audio, select that. Then we have the frames. So once again, we can go back and copy basically this image, add it as a first frame, copy the second image, and then add it as a last frame. I'm going to leave the prompt box empty because it doesn't really matter. Quality, I can leave at 1080p or 4K, up to you. Change this to 16:9 once again. And now this is important. The time here should match your voiceover as closely as possible. So over here, you can see that the first animation is roughly 5 seconds long, meaning I shouldn't generate an 8-second transition. It should be closer to 4 or 6. Now, since this is just over 5, so it's closer to 6, I'm going to go back and make this a 6-second transition. And then I'm going to just click on generate and send that off. And by the way, just before I show you what actually came out, if you're confused with how to actually use this tool, which is Premiere Pro, even though I think AI is making the work of editors faster and faster and making it so much easier for us, it's important to understand the fundamentals so that you can do stuff like this. Because in a second, I'm going to show you the major mistake that people do when they get to the second animation. But if you want to learn how to create AI animations, how to trim with AI, how to actually use Premiere Pro, how to use After Effects, how to land clients, I basically cover all of this inside of the editing evolution. If you want to learn more, you can just click the link down below and watch the video that I have made explaining what editing evolution actually is. But anyway, let's check out our animation.
Your body contains 206 bones. But here's the strange part. A newborn baby.
I mean, this is a really good animation. It's super high quality. We can also upscale this or create this in 4K. But I mean, yeah, this is really nice. Even the transition from blue to purple, the fact that it goes past the skeleton really nicely. I mean, this would take so much time to master and learn. I don't think you guys understand how long this would take to actually create with Illustrator, then pasting into After Effects, then rigging the whole characters. There's so much to this that used to take, a whole team and thousands of hours literally to create one of these videos. But now you can do this as a one-man team if you're obviously dedicated enough with these kind of tools. But anyway, let me show you now the major mistake. The major mistake people do is that they do like a completely new animation now for the second part. That is not what you should do. What you should do is you should use the last frame of the first video as the first frame of the next video so that you can continue this smooth transition cycle. And this is what I'm going to show you. So going back into Higgsfield, I'm basically going to swap these, delete these, and I'm going to go down here and use the third frame this time. Then I'm going to paste it in, and once again, same settings as before, click on generate, and then this is the transition that we're going to get. So I'm going to add a small default transition here, very small, because there's a bit of a twitch with it, but this is what you're going to get.
A newborn baby has around 270 bones.
In my opinion, this is much better than just completely restarting from scratch a new animation every time. And you can do this for the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and basically throughout the whole entire video. And you can do this in two ways. If you don't have this last frame for whatever reason, you can just click on this button down here, export last frame, and then you can use this as the frame which will generate that image at the very end. But anyways, let me quickly show you the animation. So we have the start over here that I just showed you. Then we have this section of the baby going out. Then it transforms.
They're pieces. So what happened to them? Did we lose them? Did they break? Or did something far stranger happen inside our bodies? How do 270 bones somehow become 206?
And keep in mind, this is also on point with the actual script itself because it has reasoning and it understands the context of the script. And since we optimized these prompts so heavily and since we went over everything so many times, this is honestly the best system I could find for creating these style animations. Again, you can use this for literally whatever creator you want. Now, if you made it this far, all I ask is you subscribe to this channel because 94% of you guys are not subscribed. And I just want to get this number down. So if you're enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to learn how you can use AI for every single use case that comes to video editing, then I highly suggest you watch this video next. It covers like 16 different use cases that you can use AI for as a video editor. And even if you're not a video editor, I do think this is a very interesting video to watch. So go watch that next. I'll see you there.